Okay. Okay, so we're here with Joanna, and she just got out of her second float. So let's talk a little bit about your two floating experience she's had the last couple of days.
Okay, well, as you know, I just flew 6 hours on an airplane. Needless to say, I was a little bit tense from the bad airplane seats, and my legs were like killing me, my ankles, and I was just generally tense all over from work before flying down here.
Yeah.
And so when I went into my first float, it was like, my first impression was, once I got into the tank and had turned off the lights and was floating, was that it was like a womb. And that was just like very, like, I don't even know how to describe it. You know, it's like so comforting and familiar in a sense. Like it awakens some deeper part of you that it feels right, like going home in a sense.
So you felt good being inside the tank?
Yeah, I felt safe. You know, it's kind of a feeling of safe, being removed from all the constant stress. You know, everywhere you go, like there's people want you to do something, or you have to act a certain way, or perform for work, and then like be able to go out, just put the top down and put the light out and just escape it all with no pressure and no obligations to be a certain way. It's just kind of really let go and relax.
So you really like the idea of being able to just totally get away from pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
Great. And so you had a little bit of jet lag and everything from the flight. And how did you feel once you got out of the tank?
I was very tired and fatigued going in. All I wanted to do was go to sleep, basically. But once I got out of the tank, I felt refreshed, energized, and I noticed like my legs and my ankles and my thighs, like all the muscles in my body, were very tense before I got into the tank. And once I got out, like when I was in the tank, I was kind of just doing little relaxation movements, like kind of like stretching my toes and flexing my feet, and just kind of moving arms a little bit, because there's lots of room in the tank to move your arms in any position you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when I got out, like the tension was just gone. Like it just felt like my muscles felt supple and fluid, and there wasn't any pain.
Great. So you floated twice now, and can you tell what you experienced between the first and second float? I mean, was there any noticeable differences between them?
Absolutely. This time I just got out, I noticed it was, just because I was in a different state of mind going into the tank, I think had an impact on it. This time I ended up, it was like a lot of my past was coming up, and it was like I was getting new perspectives on like things that happened in my childhood, new clarity on things that I have been struggling to understand, but I've never really grasped my consciousness, you know. So I was like, they kind of clarified in my mind, and like I felt like I made progress on something that I've been working on for so long.
Really? So so you feel like the tank helped you definitely with all those areas?
It really did. Absolutely.
Right. Awesome. And so now that you've been able to experience floating, I mean, are you? How do you feel about going home? And unfortunately, there's not a float tank center there.
I mean, I'm definitely bummed. I was telling you just a moment ago, I was like wishing I could, open up a float center in my home city, like, for the college students there.
Right.
Because I think it would help with like tests and stuff like that.
Oh yeah?
Performance and tests.
Well, so somebody who's watching this video and they're like thinking about coming in for a float, but they're maybe a little bit nervous about the whole idea, what would you say to somebody like that?
Try it out for sure. Just, come in with an open mind, and just remember that you can take it at your own pace. Like if you have claustrophobia, like that woman like came in the other day, she was nervous, she said she had claustrophobia and afraid of the dark.
But you were a little bit nervous going in the first time as well, right?
I thought it was going to be, yeah. Like, for one thing, I've always had trouble floating. That was the issue I've always had in water. I've
Uh-huh.
always had a fear of water. But when I got in the tank, it was I mean, it was so easy to float. It was that my fear was not even an issue. Like,
So all those anxieties, once you got in the tank, those are all gone.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, appreciate you coming in, and I'm glad you had such a good experience.
Thanks.
You're welcome.